Great. Carly Palestina and stars. Hello. Very excited to talk with you today. Really
Hi,
enjoyed your episode. It was excellent.
thank you.
Jumping right in. Your episode really brilliantly subverts this thing we see in movies and books time and time again, which is the woman trying to prove that she can do whatever a guy can do. So she dresses up like a guy and proves she can like hack it with him. But then this episode is amazing in saying like, no, you know what? I can be a woman and use those skills and do it. So is there a
hmm
time in your life that you feel you've been more successful just using your skill set when you thought you had to prove something to someone else?
Yeah, I mean, not even like genderifying it. I think that's why the girl who loved horses is so important because we all think revenge looks one way, but I mean, boy, girl, them, whoever, I think the Roar will give an insightful way of what does your revenge look like? Because not everyone's revenge looks the same. But if I've had any, I mean, I think I'm learning this still daily. I think like instead of just getting so angry and just so mad and trying to prove my point, and if you hurt me, then I hurt you. I think just like stepping back and just realizing that like life happens and over time it will be okay. And I think that's the greatest lesson in The Girl Who Loved Horses is because she, in front of her, so clearly has this man who is an older man, just so saddened by his own life. And she has so much life to live. So I think it's on her part really insightful for the audience to see.
Absolutely. Speaking of on a different topic, the friend that you travel with throughout, your character's not always the best friend to her. You leave her in the
No.
So, like, what do you think that that says about this notion that you kind of have to be like alone and emotionless in order to succeed when ultimately she's the
Mhm.
one that ends up saving the day?
Yeah, I mean, I think that in the beginning of the episode, you kind of like build the idea of who Jane is. She's like this independent, strong girl who like does her thing and that's it. But when Millie comes in, I think that it's really special because the show really opens up the fact that you need friends and differences are awesome. I think that's why Jane and Millie don't get along and Jane kind of like sees their differences immediately and she's like, "Oh, not for me." But I think throughout the episode you're like, "Oh, Jane realizes that like she's just the better balance. Like she not even better, but she just balances Jane out." And I think even like with you or I and our friends, I think when we immediately see someone or like go to have friendship with someone, immediately, inevitably, we are going to judge what they like, who they are, what they're into. And I think that's Jane's fault. But throughout the episode, you're like, oh, differences do attract, and you need difference in your life.
Totally. What would you say is the biggest difference that you have from your best friend? It could be like a movie preference, it could be anything.
Well, I guess my best friend is a lot older than I am. So she probably just has a lot more life experience than I do. Um, so I don't know if it's a difference because we are very similar. My sister and I are my sister, I would say that I'm more of a Jane and my sister's more of a Millie. So I guess that, she's very energetic, very like down, and I'm more like cautious and more kind of toned back. But without her, I guess I wouldn't come out.
Got it. Totally. Okay. Well, thank you so much. It was so lovely to talk to you.
Thank
Congratulations.
you. Thank you so much.